everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. So for this week's session I thought I'd show you how to create some artwork using pressed flowers and leaves. It's a really enjoyable and relaxing thing to do, and you can make it as simple or as complicated as you like. So first we'll need to collect some fresh flowers and leaves. So I've been out walking most days because I love this time of year, and you could maybe go for a stroll in your local area. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a little patch of garden of your own, or maybe you've got some plants indoors that you can use that maybe have got some interesting petals and leaves and things. So first of all, let's collect some flowers. So before you go, just make sure you take a little container with you to put your flowers and leaves in, and maybe a little bit of tissue paper in there just to protect them, because as you're walking home you don't want them to be bashing about. You want to protect them. So I've collected a selection of flowers from my local neighbourhood. I've found some lovely buttercups and daisies. I think this is called potato vine. This was actually in the garden. And so find anything that appeals to you. So I'll be really interested what you see. There's so many lovely things out there at the moment. Oh, and I've also collected these dandelions that have gone to seed, which I particularly love. I think they're so beautiful. I could sit and look at these all day long. So I'm going to have a go at pressing these as well, see how these turn out. So yeah, avoid anything too chunky because they might go a bit mouldy, so that the more sort of thin, delicate things are going to be the things that work the best. So pressing the flowers, I've got my some flowers here in a jar, and I've got some heavy books. So yeah, you can either press them, like I say, in books, or you can also use an iron. I'm going to quickly show you how to do the book method. So I've got some toilet roll here. Hopefully you've got enough of that after the panic buying that went on. So I've got some toilet roll here, and then you just want to lay them very, very carefully on top of the paper. As you can see, some of them fall apart, but that's all right. You can just put them back together. I'm just going to lay mine down like this. So you may find that some of them just fall apart, but sometimes the petals are just so beautiful on their own. I was looking at some lovely rose petals and thinking how beautiful they were just on their own. Sometimes the simplest leaf can be the most beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've collected, because we're all attracted to different things. And I'm just going to lay some tissue over the top, and then that will collect the moisture from the flowers and leaves. So just be really careful when you put the lid on top, and then you need to put some heavy books on top, like so. And drying the flowers usually takes about 7 to 10 days if you use this method. And now I'm going to show you how to do the method with the iron instead. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the method of ironing the flowers to press them. So I'm just going to show you here with a little buttercup. So you want obviously an ironing board and an iron. The iron needs to be on the lowest setting possible, and you need to make sure all the water is out of it, because you don't want any moisture getting in the flowers. You're trying to take the moisture out. So just lay the flower down carefully on some tissue paper or some newspaper, or maybe you've got a bit of muslin or something, or a piece of cotton, and like I say, a low heat, and then what you want to do is just press down on the flower for about 10 to 15 seconds, keeping the iron still, and then you want to repeat the process. So I've done this a few times now. I've just pressed down and I think it's ready now. So just very, very carefully peel it gently off And there we are, it's nice and dry, and you can tell it's all the moisture has left, and it's nice and flat, ready to use for artwork. So for this project I'll show you how to make some homemade glue, just basically using flour and water, and you can use it for the project, and also you can keep it in the fridge for another time. So now we're going to make the glue. So for that you're going to need 50 grams of plain flour and 2 pints of water, and you'll need a whisk or a fork and a saucepan. Okay, so first of all you need to turn the cooker on a really low heat. If you add the flour, 50 grams of flour straight in, and just a small amount of the water, just to create a paste to start off with, a nice thick paste. If you add all the water in one go, it's going to go all lumpy, so just do it nice and slowly, like so, and then you won't get any lumps. It's a little bit like making a cheese sauce without the butter and cheese, or white sauce. So keep mixing. Now you're going to need to do this for about 5 or 10 minutes. So after 5-10 minutes it's really thickened up now, and it's a lovely nice thick consistency, the sort of consistency of custard. That's what you want. So if you pop it into a little jam jar, and you can keep it in the fridge and it will last for a few weeks. Alternatively, you can add a little bit of white wine vinegar to it, a couple of teaspoons, and that will preserve it for a bit longer. These flowers have been pressing for about probably 7-8 days, so I'm going to have a look and see what they're like. I did spend about an hour earlier ironing lots of flowers, so I have got a little stash ready. Let's see what these are like too. So, the exciting bit. Look, open it carefully. Nice. Yeah, I think they're all okay. I don't know if you can see them all right here. But they're quite pretty, especially I think on a light background. So, some longer ones. Yep, they're all good. You can tell they're dried and ready. What else have I got on here? Some little tiny blue ones. Oops. These will be good to use. And I think they're all perfectly dry. I think, yep, they'll all be good. And I've also got a couple of dandelions that I pressed. I'm eager to know what they'll come out like. I pressed them on black card actually because I thought they'd show up more. Yeah, they look good. I'm not sure how they're going to glue down. They might not work. We'll see. We'll have to have a play around with those. And what else have we got? What else? A few more. The buttercups seem to work really well. This is a bluebell I found actually in the park. I think it needs pressing for a little bit longer. It's still not quite ready. Pop that back. Okay. So I'm surrounded by all these beautiful pressed leaves and flowers now. So now the really fun bit starts. We can start creating. So I thought maybe start off with something really simple. I actually had a plain card at home. If you haven't got a card, maybe you can cut up an old cereal packet or something and paint it white and then just fold it over. So just let's do something simple. So I'm literally just gonna paint a little square in the middle. Just something simple. Rather than placing, maybe I was thought about placing a daisy on this one, so I thought, well, obviously the petals are white, so you need a contrasting colour for them to stand out, so paint this on green, give that a go, and dry now. So using the glue that we made earlier, I'm going to use a flat brush and just cover the area with the glue. There we are. And let's stick a flower on. Now, let's place that in the middle or somewhere. And then using the end of a paintbrush, but actually, because this is thicker, that works. So, this is just an example of quite an effective little card that you could make for someone. It's nice to get post at the moment, especially in lockdown. So that's one example. Something else we could do is perhaps a landscape with the flowers growing. If you've got any masking tape, stick it down. If you haven't, don't worry, it's fine. So let's paint, let's do a little landscape now with some of the flowers going up and see how that works. So I'm going to just put in a background again along the bottom. Let's add a bit of water to it. Add a bit of water so it's a bit more faded in the distance. And then let's add a hint of the sky, some blue. Now you could use watercolours, you could use acrylics, you could use felt tip pens, tea and coffee if you didn't mind too much about the colour, or you could just maybe use pencil, whatever you've got at home. Now I'm lucky enough that I've actually bought some of my art materials home, so I'm just going to use a bit of crayon as well and create some interest. So now this is ready to stick some flowers on top, so I'm actually just going to cover most of it with just some glue. Don't be too precious. It dries clear anyway, so you're not going to see it. And then we start sticking things down. So what have we got here? I'm going to stick down maybe one of these. Press that down. Let's get a little heavy something to press it. I'll cut the bit at the end. What else have we got? Some grass. Let's put some grass on. Let's put some daisies on. So it's really coming together. It's beginning to look like a picture now. It's nice if you vary the sizes and the shapes of the flowers and the leaves. Oh, that one doesn't want to stick down, does it? Give it a bit more. Here you can see it's picture taking shape now. We can add some more details to that. Maybe we can paint some things in between the gaps. I've been working on these ones and I just wanted to show you the sort of finished pictures. So I'm quite pleased with them. The glue's worked really well and I think they're really uplifting and quite happy. Nice to wake up to in the morning if you had them on the wall. And like I say, for the background, for these, I both used acrylic, but you could use anything you like, whatever you've got at home. I also had this little frame at home. It's like a little magnetic frame. So I just placed a single dandelion in there because I just think it's so nice just on its own, with a bit of space around it. So that's that. And I also made a couple of little greetings cards. I thought they'd be nice to keep and maybe post out to friends and family later on in the year. There's one there and also another one here. Again, really simple, but quite effective, you know, and very cheap. I thought maybe we could do like a bookmark, and then I don't know, there's the covering, isn't there, that you can cover the books with, some sort of plastic book covering. Maybe you could cover that with that. So I really hope you've enjoyed the session. I know I have. I've really loved it, and I can't wait to see what you've done. So please either email us or join us on Facebook, and I really look forward to seeing you again in person soon.